Hey guys, sorry, my hair was just like all up in my face. Today was good. Okay, so this morning, went to bed at like, I think 1:30 last night, so I got about 5 hours of sleep, which for me isn't horrible because as my body starts to get used to sleeping, not 10 hours a night, it'll get better. I said that because when I was up in Minnesota, I slept a lot. At one point, I slept for 15 hours. Because I slept 12 hours at night and then I took like a 3 hour nap. So, anyway, so today was good. During. Actually, when I woke up this morning, I didn't want to get up at all. I wanted to go back to sleep, but I knew I had to get up because I get up at 6:30. I leave about 7:15, 7:20. I could leave a little later, but at the same time, it can be really, really almost catastrophic getting to my school because we have, I think, close to 1,300 and some students. And about half of us drive because we have a huge lower parking lot, and then we have a big parking lot behind the gym and in front of the CTE building, and on either side of the CTE building we have I think maybe 10 spots, and then in front of the gym we have probably like 100 spots. Like, I'm spot 200, and I think it goes down to, or up to, like, 300 or 100 or something like that. There are a lot of them. But yeah. So, it felt really weird driving to school in the morning. I don't know why, it's just something I'm gonna be getting used to again. Just because, from December 7th until, like, December 11th, I think, or 12th, Mom was taking me to school because, my car was in the shop. Kind of sucked. But, I have it back again, and it's running really, really well, but I'm still getting used to driving again. Like, I can drive myself anywhere, really. I just have to tell Mom where I'm going. Like, honestly, I could probably be like, hey, Mom, I want to go to the Grand Ole Opry. I'll see you tomorrow. And she'd be like, okay, here's $50 for a ticket, go have fun. Make sure you have enough gas. I mean, I couldn't do that on a school night, but I mean, if I went like on a early Saturday morning and the production was Saturday evening and I came back Sunday morning, it'd be like, oh, okay, see you later. I mean, I could pretty much go wherever I wanted, as long as they know where I'm going and I'm within my legal curfew, which is like 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So, I mean, I have more than enough of a window of time. Anyway, so today was good. During first period, we had our first little quiz. It was just 10 questions. It was actually really easy. And then we all had to get our photo taken, and we did a couple other things, but I don't quite remember what. We were listening to stories again. Oh, and then we were back in the lab, and we have this thing. It's like half of a human body, and you pump it. Like, there's this little handheld thing that you pump, and it makes the carotid artery beat, and you put your finger on it, and you can feel it, and it's just like, it's cold and rubbery, and almost feels like a fish, but at the same time, it's just like, like, it's cool to feel, but at the same time, it's just like, why does it have this funky texture? Obviously because, well, one, it's a mannequin, and two, it's just equipment. It's not an actual person. And then in second period, we had two safety tests. We had a lab safety test, and then we had a just basic safety test, because that's also a health course, so we had to go over, like, bloodborne pathogens and HIV and hepatitis B and C, certain vaccinations, how to protect yourself, like PPE, and so on and so forth. Both of those tests were really easy. overall, it was just pretty much a good morning. And then third period came, and we were working on more with the exponents, and it was pretty easy for the most part until you got to like what is 729 to the 1/6. It's like, what? And it's like 3 or 4 or something, but like normally you would not just know that. Like, most people don't know how, well, at least when you're first learning it, most people aren't just like, oh yeah, by the way, that's 4 or whatever it is. And yeah, we had to do that because we weren't allowed to have calculators for it, which I kind of hated because, you know, I understand like 1 to the 3rd is still 1. Because 1 times 1 times 1 is still 1. But it's just, yeah. Anyway, we were doing some IXL on that, and then we had lunch, which my stomach is finally starting to, like, get better. I'd say it's about 80% right now, like, not quite 100, but definitely getting there. Which is nice because I'm finally starting to get some semblance of an appetite back. I can actually eat my salad and fruit and milk without feeling like I'm going to vomit. I say that because when I first got back to school Tuesday, the thought of solid food made me so nauseous. I'm just like, you know, I'm going to get a bowl of tomato soup and a little bit of salad and some fruit and milk, and I'm just gonna go. So, yeah. And then 4th period is peer tutoring. And, the special ed teacher came up because special ed needs several, peer tutors because, you know, I mean, they're not all the same level. We have 2 or 3 levels. Like, we have some students that are completely unable to communicate whatsoever just because, like, they have, like, extreme Down syndrome, or they have several other physical and mental disabilities that have it, so they're actually, like, in a wheelchair, or, not a wheelchair, like a stroller almost, so they can, like, get around, because, like, they can't walk on their own, or if they do, it's very, very limited as to how far they'll go, or else they'll, like, run off, or they'll get hurt, or something like that. And then we have other students, like, there's, one girl who used to be, like, an honors student, pretty much, and then she had a massive stroke, and now she's deaf and blind. So, yeah, and she can talk, and she'll talk and, think about, like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to go running at recess, and it's just, like, oh my gosh. Like, I feel bad that you had to go through that, but at the same time, I feel like it made you stronger, because not only did you get to experience, you know, being an honor student, but at the same time, you get to learn something else. Like, you get to learn how to do Braille, which I kind of wish I knew how to do that, just because I think if something did happen, it would be easier to read, or I guess just communicate in general, but at the same time, I don't necessarily need it. Just like some of our kids, like, they're deaf and dumb, but they know sign language, so that's how they communicate. I know very, very limited sign language, so I can talk to them enough to be able to say, like, what do you need, or what do you want, or what's wrong, but I can't communicate enough to be able to completely explain, like, a science paper or something. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what we did. And then we got to go down and tour the room and so on and so forth. And then 5th period, We were working on a practice ACT test, which on my first try on my practice ACT test, I got an 81, which is equal to getting a, like, just on the English part, which, obviously I know it's not a 36 out of 36 on every subject, it's a 36 out of 36 overall, but I did it just for that one specific subject, and, it'd be equal to be getting, like, a 29 out of 36, because 29 out of 36 is 80.555555555. So yeah, and then after school, I had chess club, and that went well, and then I brought Grace home, and on the way to bring Grace home, normally I go kind of back way, because it's faster, but there was a cop car, and there was some truck that had gone off the road, and there were like 4 more cop cars up there, and I just went in a little suburban area, turned around, and went back and went the long way, and I apologize for the sniffles. I don't even know what this is, because I don't have a cold, but I guess it's just allergies or whatever. Anyway, then I brought Emma home, and yeah, I've done my homework. I actually slept a little bit before I did my homework, but, yeah, it's about 12:30 right now. Oh, and I took a shower. So my hair is, like, nice and healthy and